Welcome to Firearms of America. Today I'm back here at Shooters in Fort Myers, Florida, about to do a review of this pink Walther P22. Yes, so if you prefer the colorful options, there you go. Why not? 3.4 inch barrel, 22LR, 10 capacity magazine. Let's put some, well, I can put some 10 rounds this time because 22LR is still cheap and available. Thankfully, at least here at Shooters in Fort Myers, Florida. So, I know some of you guys are not that much of a huge fans of the 22LR round. Personally, I mean, to me, it's more of a fun kind of round, great round for a very nice, relaxing, plinking day on the range, all right? Not really a home defense, not really a concealed carry round, just a nice relaxing day on the range. So 3.4 inch barrel, practically should not be any recoil detected on that one. So let's see if that's the case. Now, of course, Walther, European brand, German. All right, we have our European mag release. I kind of do like it overall. First of all, because it is ambidextrous. Second of all, it's easy to operate, and at the same time, you have two options. You can either do it with your thumb, or you can do it here with your pointing finger. So, very easy to rack. So light spring. Let's see what we can do. All right, and we have a little jam. Pushing it to the limit. And we have another jam. And that was the last round. So, out of 10, not too bad, only 2 jams. Actually, it is pretty bad. I'm gonna put some more 10 rounds. And I'll try to be a little more gentle this time, not as aggressive. And we'll see if it jams again. Hopefully not. But if you ever shot a 22LR before in a semi-automatic handgun, you know that it's a fairly tricky round being a rimfire compared to your typical center fire. If you're using handgun like this just to have fun on the range, not a big deal. If you're using it for your self-defense, concealed carry, home defense, big deal. Keep that in mind. All right, so a little bit more gentle. Let's see. All right. Being gentle goes a long way. So not a single jam. Good. I'm happy about that. So let's talk about the ergonomics. We have our grip, obviously the frame, Polymer frame, so the grip is, and there's really not much aggression going here. It's decently shaped, nice finger grooves here. Some whatever, looks like this part can be actually replaced. I'm not sure if I got another option here. Looks like I do. Let's see if it's actually shaped differently. Here you go. This is what you get when you buy a brand new one. And let's see. Nah, it looks like exactly the same. Well, I guess the European brands, because I just did the HK review and they have the same thing, they give you a few of these, the same exact size. So maybe they think that this is gonna wear out and you're gonna have to replace it. Kind of weird if you ask me. I know my favorite Glock comes with a few of those, but those actually are in order to mess with the size. So if you wanna have a bigger grip, you can with the Glock. With this, you just get the same size for whatever reason. Not a big deal though that there isn't really a lot of aggression here because, I mean, it's a 22LR, so you don't really need that much of recoil management in your grip, all right? So not a big deal. And the same goes for the slide. Like I said, this is very easy to rack, except this safety right here, which I'm not a huge fan of. Which we will talk about a little bit more in detail in a couple of minutes. So let me put some more rounds And hopefully, without any incidents, without any jams, again, let's see, I'll try to do it 10. Now the magazine, 10 capacity magazine, this is what you typically get in a 22LR chambered handgun, because most of them, well, not most of them, so far everything that I have reviewed that have been chambered in 22LR has been a single stack. And I kind of wonder, when will I ever see a double stacked 22LR magazine? Because why not? Why not? Can you imagine if this was double stacked, how many more rounds you'd be able to fit into this? But it's very easy to load. On the plus side, you have this lever to pull it down, so pretty good overall. Alright, so however many more rounds, I didn't count. Hopefully no jams. Let's see if I can hit any of those. No jams, good. Of course, don't expect 22LR to ever turn one of those pedals, no matter where you hit it. But let's talk about the trigger. Trigger here is a single double action, all right? External hammer, you probably noticed that. So right now it is in single action, and we have about 2.5, 3 millimeters of treble, and then make sure nothing is here. And then we have a snap. So the trigger is actually very good, it's very crisp. But let's try to do it in the double action, and that brings me to this safety switch right here, which is a very interesting technology in a way. And let me demonstrate it. Before I do that, I'm gonna actually do a little test, all right? So we have 1 round in the magazine. We have 1 round in the chamber. We're switching our safety to safety on position. Looks like the hammer is still in single action mode. So, just dropped the hammer, but it didn't fire. Interesting. So now we have our trigger in double action, but it's still not going to fire because the safety here, it actually locks the striker in place. All right, so that's how you switch it to the double action, which honestly to me is a little bit crazy and kind of an accident waiting to happen. All right, because you're dropping the hammer while there is a round in there. Yeah, all right, so now we have it in double action. I'm gonna fire it so that there's nothing in there. So, single action, safety on, drop the hammer, safety off, double action. All right, so now we have the double action trigger, and the same amount of play, just 2.5, 3 millimeters, and then we have the double action happening. You're going, you're still going, and still, there you go. All right, so you have your typical heavier double action trigger, which if you prefer to carry it that way without the safety engaged, for safety, because the trigger is now much heavier, you can do that, all right? Now, a lot of people are not fans of this sort of system because you drop the hammer while the round is in there, okay? I'm in the range, so I can do this playfully, all right? If you're in your house, that's kind of hard racking. So what you can do is, you can have the round in the chamber, all right, and then you switch it to safety, and then you hold the external hammer. Well, there's only one hammer, so you hold the hammer with 2 fingers, and then you press the trigger, and then you carefully drop this hammer. There you go. So now you take it off the safety, and you have your round in the chamber, your trigger in double action, and the hammer all the way down without snapping it. If that makes sense. If you're kind of like sensitive, right? If you're anxious about these things. But let's put some more rounds through this. And we'll talk about the sides and try to come up with a decent conclusion. See if overall this is a good handgun. Alright, so however many rounds, it didn't count. Safety off. You know what? I'll try to shoot in double action because why not? So we did it not a very nice, careful way. Whatever, I'm at the range, I can do that. Take off the safety. And now we have the double action trigger. Let's see if I can hit the pedal. And obviously now, after the first round was shot, it goes back to the single action. Makes sense. Alright. With that kind of shooting, I think I can be proud of myself for the rest of the day. So let's talk about the sights. The sights are actually probably one of my favorite parts about this handgun, besides the nice pink color. Alright. So we have our standard 3-dot sight, nothing crazy over here, very simple to adjust to, and that's really it. You have your accessory on the frame, accessory rail, so if you want to put a laser or a flashlight or whatever you're into, you can definitely do that. There are no other safety indicators. The slide release, which works very good actually here. I do like it a lot because it's a one-hand operation slide release, so you don't need to pull on the slide backwards with another hand in order to drop it. There you go, it just goes. Very good, I like it a lot. So I would say overall, probably the sights, the slide release and the trigger, I like the trigger. The mag release is pretty decent too, would be my favorite parts about the gun. I'm not a fan of the safety, really not because of it kind of a weird operation where you have to drop the hammer in order to engage the double action. I think the problem that I have with the safety is the location, because it makes the racking, the slide kind of weird. It just doesn't feel very good. But you do have some serrations on the front, so if you want to be like that, you can definitely do that here. But this probably is not going to be very comfortable because of this stuff hanging out. So overall, like I said in the beginning, great pistol for a fun day on the range. Might not be the best choice whenever it comes to concealed carry and home defense, of course, but as a 22LR goes, that's usually typically what you get. So thank you very much guys for watching. This was Firearms of America. See you guys in the next video.